This the rant of the real. Everybody telling lies is true first, so it's fuck how they do feel. Or you for real? Man, put that on your mama, you a gangster and you got more shit for real. This the rant of the real. Everybody telling lies is true first, so it's fuck how they do feel. Or you for real? Man, put that on your mama, you a gangster and you got more shit for real.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rant to the Real. The power of real niggas get on here, Rant. This is the #1 show in the world. Don't need to look that up. Google is wrong. They're gonna lie to you anyways. They're gonna tell you something that's not true. I am your host of the trap, the hardest working, and whatever it is that I am doing. No, that's that shit. Day for eggs, bacon vibes. And I bring nothing but immaculate vibes. It's very cold. We survived the blizzard, okay? We made it. We didn't die. Gonna see another one. And you can't ask for anything better than that, you know? Across the world, though, everyone is going through it. But I think up north, us New Yorkers, we went through it a little worse. We got hit kind of hard. People were freezing to death out there. Although, for other places, they did get very cold. I heard it's like 50 degrees in California. I mean, granted, it's a nice beach day here, but over there, ooh, that has to be like -2 degrees. I had a pretty average week. Wasn't nothing spectacular or amazing going on, so I don't have nothing to report on that aspect. I have been going to the gym, so these gains are coming back in. And the goal is to get swole. So, yeah. I will be built like Hulk Hogan in the 90s. Don't worry about it. Just wait. There was a point when I was like puffed up like a SpongeBob episode when he had the balloon arms. Yeah. Couldn't fit them shirts for nothing. Mr. T in them bitches. And then I fell off and it's like poof, and it deflated. So we're getting it back. We're working on strengthening the core area though, more chest and abs than anything. So that's what I'm really focused on. Chest and abs. Gotta bring that up for me just a little bit. I don't like when I gotta lean all the way down there to reach the microphone. Should give you guys a sound warning that I was going to do that. But you audio listeners, it is what it is. You get the varying audio. Varying audio. Oof. We are in the first quarter. I want you guys to know. It's Monday at like noon. I usually do this like Tuesday, 3 a.m., last minute, overtime. We are on top of the ball today. So, I feel like we're making progress. Okay? If I did it yesterday like I was supposed to, we'd be ahead of the curve, but it's too cold for all that. But let's get into it. I hate that every single week for like the past 2 months now, this has been like just a political podcast. And it is what it is. I talk about current events. I talk about things that upset me. I talk about what's going on in the world. And right now, the current events of things that happen just are very prevalent. We can't ignore it. We have to talk about it. Your president's doing shit. The people that work for him are doing shit. And we can't ignore that. I must promote the news all the way possible. Ooh. So I gotta tell you what's going on. Well, before we get into like the new shit, I have a genuine question. I wonder what the appeal is in like solo death-defying activities. And what I mean by that is like caving or free rock climbing or like just the psycho crazy things people do that the margin for error is death. It's like, why do you want to go in a cave and get stuck? What makes you think, I know that hole is small, but I think I can fit? What's the appeal in it? Like, when people do shit like that, like they climb a mountain with no ropes, no cables, no nothing, are you already like having thoughts and you're like, fuck it, if I get there, I get there, but if not, I got a cool story? Or is it one of those things you do for the hoes? Like, I know a lot of white people who do shit for the hoes. Like, they ain't never been rock climbing before. But you know what? The girl they like, she do it, so fuck it. They done strap themselves to the rock and out that's your mountain and now they climbing it. Or now they jumping out of planes and shit. And some like if it's activity based for the hoes, then that makes sense to a degree, because at least there's a method to the madness, you got a reason. Yeah, I mean, you're doing it for the hoes. But like, if you just going through shit and you just doing shit just to feel shit, why that task? I feel like those are horrible ways to die too. Like, those aren't slow deaths. Those are slow. They're not fast deaths. Ooh. Getting stuck in a cave, not being able to come out, and now you're just there. Don't have a panic attack, because you're screwed. Especially like that dude that went in that one cave. I forgot what it was called, but it has like a crazy name. But he went down, they got stuck head first down, and they couldn't get him out. They couldn't blast him out, they couldn't do nothing, so his body's just there. That is slow and agonizing. Or, wasn't that movie, was it 160 Hours or 160 Days, or whatever that movie was, where the dude's arm got stuck in that wall by that rock and he had to cut it off with a pocket knife? Wasn't that a free climber, if I'm not mistaken? I believe he was a free climber. I could be wrong. Let's look it up. I don't Google though. This is why I need someone that's 127 hours. Yeah, he's a solo climber. Yeah. There's some dude that was free climbing and fucking margin for error is death. Got stuck between the wall and was gonna die alone. In the middle of nowhere. Why? Like, there's the Daredevil shit. You don't really aim for death with the Daredevil stuff. It's more of the thrill. It gets your heart racing. Or maybe you do. But free climbing, you know what that comes with. I just don't understand it. Why is it that people nowadays want to do solo things that are just extremely dangerous? Netflix filmed a live feed of a dude climbing a wall, or a skyscraper, free climb. I get that the feed was delayed so that it was 10 seconds delayed so that if he did fall, the viewers wouldn't see. But what happens to the people that are outside? What happens to the people that are in the building? What happens if he falls? Then what? What was the reason? Like, I get if Netflix approaches you and, you know, they're obviously throwing a lot of money and you see the dollar signs, but why? Why do it? Why even be the free claimer in the first place? I guess a lot of people ask why we do what we do on a regular and we don't have much answers for them, but I would never want to do something to where I could possibly end up hurting alone. If that makes sense. Like, if I'm going skydiving, it's going to be with a group of people. If I'm going on a hot air balloon, it's going to be with a bunch of people. If I'm going to go boar hunting, it'll be with people. I'm not going to go by myself whaling with just me, a boat, and a harpoon. It doesn't seem very smart/safe. I don't know, white people do some crazy shit. And there's always a couple of outliers, but majority rules. Now, let's get into it. Let's talk about this political shit. ICE has done it again. Last week they killed that Christian lesbian lady in her car in front of her family. And then this week, they kill a ICU nurse. In like straight up execution style. Gun to the back of the head, pulled the trigger. Like, they murked this guy for no fucking reason. Now, depending on who you ask, you can argue that the lady was trying to run them over last week. I'm not going to give it to you, but there's an argument. This one, there's no argument whatsoever, yo. If you haven't seen the video, there's like 10 different angles, and more people just keep submitting their angle. But ICE attacked this lady, threw her on the ground, and so Alex walked over. He's got his phone out, he's recording, and he's on the sidewalk, and he like tries to push the cop from, not the cop, the ICE agent from like beating the shit out of this lady that's on the floor. So they mace him. Okay, guy puts his hands up, he gets on his knees. They continue to mace him. Then they proceed to beat the living fuck out of him. Like, beat him. Not just one dude, it was like 10 of them. Okay. There's a dude clearly pistol whipping this guy. Like, these dudes were literally angry. Okay. They throw him on the ground. There's an officer that takes the gun out of his waistband that's in the small of his back. Takes the gun. And then they proceed to shoot him 10 times. Once, execution style, gun to the back of the fucking head, then 3 in the back, and then 5 more on the ground while he was already dead. That's upsetting. Okay. Then an hour later, this political, whatever the fuck you want to call them, currently running the White House, get on TV and call this man a domestic terrorist. They further say that he should have never came there with a loaded gun, and he shouldn't have came with magazines, and that's not how you protest. That's not how you be a protester at a protest. They said that if he would have protested peacefully, they would have protected him and nothing bad would happen. So a man filming with his cell phone who tries to keep you from full mounting a woman on the ground with a one-handed push, who you then subdue. He gets on his knees, hands raised, you mace, you beat him, okay. And then you kill him? How is he not peaceful? Explain to me what peace looks like. Then you have the same people that literally said a couple of years ago that it's not illegal to have your guns on you wherever you want to take them, that are legal places to bring them, right? Kyle Rittenhouse came to a protest, was 2019, something like that? It wasn't that long ago. We're not talking more than 10 years ago. Maybe 5 at best. Kyle Rittenhouse brought an assault rifle to a protest, shot and killed 2 people. And they defended him, even though this was a man who brought guns across state lines to other states that don't fuck around, and he still managed to get off, met the goddamn president, and had a whole fucking parade for him. And he was walking openly with an assault rifle. Then when he was being chased by angry mobsters, he ran towards the armed police officers with his gun, and they did nothing to him. They told him to leave and get out of there. But the dude that was recording, you happened to beat him, find a fucking gun on him, and then go, ha, see, it was justified. A legal gun, might not say that. Then they go, oh, he didn't have ID. So because he didn't have ID on him, you killed him? And then you label him a domestic terrorist. Oh my God, here they go throwing this fucking word around again. How? According to them, that he was going to use that pistol to cause a mass massacre against federal agents. The Gestapos that walk around with assault rifles and shotguns. And this dude with a fucking 10-shot pea shooter, he's just gonna John Wick their ass. That's what you're telling us. Okay. Then the general major, whatever the fuck he is, of ICE, gets on CNN and was like, well, that's the dude's fault. He should have never stepped in. He should have just stayed on the sidewalk and basically watched. So they call the guy out and they're like, you're victim blaming. He goes, no, the ICE agents are the victims. We don't blame the victims. I blame the suspect. Oh. Now he's a suspect. What crime did he commit? What did he do that warranted death? Let's say he did obstruct ICE's arrest. Is that a death? Is that something that can lead to death? Is that a sentence that's not going to be passed down? Let's say he was walking around with the goddamn gun out. Is that something that warrants gunning someone down? Hell, a couple of weeks ago, on Christmas, I told you about the dude who literally shot at 2 cops. 2 were in critical condition, and they still tried to get this man to surrender peacefully and tried to talk to him. So the dude with an active gun that's mowing cops down, they want to talk to him and get him to put the fucking gun down. But the dude who doesn't even have a gun out is the one you put down. And then label him a terrorist instead of the other psycho motherfucker. Okay. It's 2 deaths this month caused by these people. And it just ran amok in Minnesota. The fuck is going on? And then why is the behavior being justified? You got judges blocking the Trump administration saying you guys are not allowed to touch this, don't touch the evidence, nothing going to disappear, leave this shit alone. They got local going first, then they have Homeland Security running the fucking thing. Then they got local cops, then they have the FBI, and then they have the Department of Justice, and then they have the Trump administration. Who's only allowed to just sit back and watch. Because this shit is insane. Both of those need to be answered for, and that goddamn infant that they did kill, but the baby's not dead. But still, the baby did die because you want to throw flashbangs in a car full of children. What exactly are protesters allowed to do? Because if they show up, you get upset. When they try to leave, you get upset. And when they don't like the way you're treating random citizens in the street, illegal or illegal, you get upset. And then you got the cousin touching weirdos in the basement who have never met a woman in real life. I don't see nothing wrong. There is something wrong. This all is wrong. But I guess you don't see nothing wrong because it don't affect you until it does affect you. I told you, it's not your problem until it is your problem. And eventually one day it will be your problem. You can only dodge the bullshit for so long. You can only be ignorant and try to stay outside of certain things for so long. Before you're going to have to make a standard decision, you're going to have to do something. And eventually, just because the hammer of justice hasn't touched you doesn't mean that it won't. They're just not in your city. They're just not in your town. Make no statement that these people eventually will end up there if they're not checked now. Why are there masked men walking around beating the shit out of people, throwing them in cars, and pointing guns at people? And legally pulling the trigger. Like, I get it. There's illegals here. I get it. Some of them are doing heinous shit. But at what cost? I feel like we're doing more harm than we are actually fixing shit. I just watched, some Chris Hansen takedown videos where he caught like 4 or 5 illegals. And none of them died. Nobody got hurt. They got him on the pedophilia charges, and then they got him on all that sex shit, and then they got him for being here illegally. And they all went home alive. Well, I don't know about home, but they went somewhere alive. There's gotta be a fucking better way, yo. There's got to be. And then how is it that anybody is joining ICE? Like, if you look at the website, because I was just on it earlier today, it has like this super strict fucking thing. They want this, you gotta have this, your credit's gotta be great, all this good shit. So how is any fucking Joe Schmo out here just with a gun and a goddamn sword and they just tell them tack anyone brown? Make this shit make sense. You got a dude that's, part-time Little League coach. Maybe worked at Radio Shack when that was a fucking thing, and now he's a goddamn ICE agent. And maybe because he doesn't get respect at home because his wife can bitch him, so he comes to work and just reflects it. Or you got those red pill psycho motherfuckers in the basement that follow Tate and believe his goddamn every word he's saying. You got those guys as ICE agents. Because I understand, obviously anyone can apply, but is there any parameters to where you get denied? Or is it one of those, we just need bodies in seats right now? Because granted, the money is tempting, don't get me wrong. They are throwing cash. Like a lot of it. When I was looking at it just now, what is it, like, it said 40 to 100K a year, which is a huge range. Like, you couldn't make 40, you couldn't make 100, you know. Then, here's 15,000 for every year you stay on. And then here's the first 3 months 20K sign-on bonus. That's $35,000 you can make just as a bonus. Insane. We are living in a fascist hellscape. Because if not Nazi Germany, what is it? I truly don't understand what is it that they are playing at here. The world is crumbling around us. It is falling apart. It is descending into madness. And we see nothing wrong with it. And then you obviously have people that are, right-leaning. You know they can't be okay with this shit, but they don't want to admit that they fucked up. Because if you guys remember when school shootings were a crazy thing, I want to say they still are, they didn't go away, but it was like 2022, 23, when like schools were just the target, and the right were talking about arming teachers with guns. They wanted to give them ballistic shields and shit in the classroom. I don't know if you remember that, but they did. They talked about it. There was a teacher who got in trouble because he brought his pistol to school. I remember it. And now all of a sudden the same right-leaning people are saying, maybe you shouldn't have a gun at all. Matter of fact, put your guns away. You don't need those. Let the government protect you. Sounds like North Korean propaganda to me. Sounds like some shit Kim Jong-un would say. I'm not crazy. I don't make this up. You could go on CNN or Fox News and watch this shit yourself. You got the same people that a couple years ago said we need more guns, we need to start, getting rid of these bad guys, we need to clean house, it's okay to bring your guns wherever you want to bring them. And now these exact same people, political leaders and all, are saying, no, you shouldn't have these guns, no, don't take them anywhere, trust the government. You got the same people that are watching the same video footage we are, saying that they don't see what we see, that it's all a hoax, and our eyes are telling us what we want to see. So I should just believe the Department of War. And that the video footage that was captured on some fucking 4-year-old cell phone because she just happened to record, and that's wrong. Okay. These people are playing in our goddamn face, and they're doing it live and in front of us. And then how does ICE keep getting getting pardons for murders of civilians in the street? This man was like a 20-year ICU nurse. How the fuck is he a domestic terrorist? Okay. You know what's actually pretty interesting though? In the same breath, long time ago, when I first started my EMS career, and I was working at the first ambulance agency, they hired this lady, and she was an odd lady, very quiet, but whatever, Muslim. And it was my first year there, so she hadn't been there. She couldn't have been there longer than a year because I think she came after me. They found her dead in the sewers because I guess she was stealing manhole covers. How she got down in the sewer doesn't make any sense, but like when they went to her house, she had like a bunch of manhole covers. And she was on an FBI watch list. Mind you, she only been doing a job for 6 months. And I guess she was using the uniform to like justify why she would be down in the sewers, but still. They found her dead in the sewers in her uniform. That would be domestic terrorism. Some fucking dudes saving lives for 20 years? That's not domestic terrorism. Some lady that ran over, or trying to leave a scene and doesn't want to get heckled? That's not domestic terrorism. Some fucking fed up Italian dude who shoots a goddamn board member of a company that has nothing to do with anything to do with law enforcement, military, or police, or political. Just some random ass billionaire. That is not domestic terrorism. Laying down thousands of rounds in a school? That is domestic terrorism. We can't move the goalposts when it suits us. I find it ironic that, in the words of the good old Charlie Kirk, the guy who was very right-leaning, said that the Second Amendment is not for hunting, it's not for self-protection. It's there to ensure that the freedoms of people can be... It's there to ensure that free people can defend themselves if, God forbid, the government becomes tyrannical and turned against the citizens. The most right-leaning motherfucker on this planet said that guns are to protect yourself for when the government loses their fucking mind. And is ICE not the government losing their fucking mind right now? Because I would like for you to tell me otherwise. Tell me if I'm wrong. They're out here just putting people down because they can. And nobody's doing a damn thing to stop them. You got the free citizens trying to protect other free citizens, and in the cross path, they getting fucked up. Not to mention the shit that's probably happening off camera. Those are 2 incidents that were recorded by random people. Imagine what they got recorded by what hasn't been recorded. Because you gotta remember, for the one time I get caught, I've probably done this 10 more times. Probably got complacent the 10th time. That's why I got caught. Guarantee you, if you look into the background of some of these members, these agents, they're probably not good guys. They probably have a history of violence. Quite honestly, they're probably those dudes that wish they were cops or military, didn't quite make the cut, so they did the next best adjacent thing. I know you know them because I know them. I work with them. They tell me the stories all the time. They couldn't be in the military for XYZ. They tried to join RPD 4 times in the troopers, and they got told no. So now they do this, or they do security, or they do private militia contracts because they're not wired. And they will kill with no hesitation. But these are also the exact same people that ICE will hire and give them a goddamn gun and say, go get them illegals. country's a fucking joke. Shit gets too bad. I'll see you guys in Asia. I will be in Southeast Asia talking my shit like I told you. I really wanted to leave New York. I did so bad. But the thing that keeps me here is that Canada is 2 hours away. And I will gladly hop in the car across the border and get a one-way ticket the fuck off this floating space rock and go to a different one. And majority of that bullshit hasn't made its way all the way up here yet. And if it does, it'll probably be in New York City, which still won't make its way to northern New York. Southern New York, that type of shit would probably fly down there. So that's really one of the few things that keep me over here. Because sometimes it's the devil you know. Right, y'all, we're going to call it a day. We're going to wrap it up. I have to do some major editing because the camera cut off on me. And I got to fly it up, get it right. So I got some editing to do. But the world keeps turning and burning as we're trying to figure out if this is Nazi Germany or not. I'll be here to report it to you guys. Even if that means I'm doing it in a goddamn rice field somewhere in the Philippines, I will not be here. But I'll tell you guys all about it. I watch the news. I want to thank all the viewers, the fans, the supporters, the people that believed in me from day one, and the people that believed in me when they first seen this, just now. I appreciate you guys. For all y'all that are the audio listeners, you gotta finish the audio, then go to YouTube where you can watch the video. Because I change the background all the time. We were in school for a little bit, now we're going somewhere else. The background always moves. And you can't get that with the listen. But tune in next week.